thing that we're going to have to understand is how do we tap into something greater than the natural. You see, our natural resources come by effort. It come by our effort, hard work effort. What we have to understand is that man is both physical and he is spiritual. And there's a lot of things that we can get through the physical means, which has, again, hard work attached to it, and it has limitation attached to it. Jesus knows about another source, which is spiritual. The ancient matriarchs and patriarchs of the Bible, they also knew about how to tap into the realm of the spirit, not just natural. Again, natural things are so limited, but the supernatural things of God is not limited at all. There's no limitation to what God can do. When we see the miracles in the Bible, we look at miracles, and some people say, well, I just can't, hard for me to wrap my mind around Jonah, like being in the belly of the whale. It's just too hard physically for me to grasp that Jesus can walk on water, and too hard for me to grasp how he can raise a man up from the dead. And so why is it so hard? Because in our natural minds and natural ability, we stop somewhere with our limitation, and we say that's impossible. See, we use the word impossible. And then that's why the angel said when they were talking to Sarah, when she laughed when she was 90, because in our natural world, no 90-year-old woman should be having a baby, right? We say time up, too late, impossible, because we have never seen a 90-year-old woman have a baby. We never saw it. But with God, it's a piece of cake, And so when Sarah laughed, the angel was confused. He just said, why did she laugh? We don't understand. If God said it, God can make it happen, because there's nothing impossible with God. So watch what they're saying. They're saying with God, we don't use the word impossible. The word impossible is for man. But the word impossible don't even resonate with God. So we want to tap into the things that are impossible for us, but what? Possible with God. And so we have to understand that when we start talking about God, we have to go to and say there is no limit to what God can do. And it isn't any limit to what God can do. God is going to take today, watch this, 2 fish, and he's going to take 5 loaves of bread and feed 5,000 men, not count the women and the children. Now, let me ask you, in our realm of thinking, if someone were to tell you take 2 loaves of bread and 5 fish and feed 5,000 men, we would say that's impossible. Not count the women who wanted to eat too, not count the children who wanted to eat too. If I gave you 2 loaves of bread today and 5 fish and said that's 5,000, that's probably about 20,000 people out there, 20,000, because you got 5,000 men, you probably got more women, and then you got a bunch of children running around. So they just said, we ain't counting the women and children, we just count the men. If I gave you 5 loaves of Marita bread, let me call out some bread, now, and 2 little fish, and told you go out there 5,000 men waiting, you would tell me it's impossible. Because we deal in possibles, what's possible, and we deal in what's impossible. When it comes to God, he wants us to take the limit off our thinking. As a man think with God, so is he. We have been conditioned by the world to have the realm of possibility and have the realm of impossibility. And when God come along, he says, I come from a world, when Jesus came along, he said, I came from a world where there is no limit. And that's again, all things are with who? with God. He didn't say all things are possible with man. All things are what? Possible with God. Now watch this. What we have to understand in this world, that everything in this world that we have, everything, everyone, you say the word everything. Everything in this world that you and I have came from the source of God. Now let that sink in. Everything we have in this world and own, the home, the cars, the house, the furniture in the home, the clothes, the shoes, everything we have in this world came from the source of God. I want y'all to really understand that. You see, when we start pulling from the source, we think that we exhaust the source. We ain't even tap into it. You see, watch what God says. God's going to take these 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread, and he's going to pull from everyone shout, source. He's going to pull from a source and multiply from which he pulled from the, he's going to pull from the resource, say resource. He's going to pull from the resource, tap into the source, and feed everybody. Here's something I really want you to see. Look here, watch this. Watch this. Look at verse 9. Matter of fact, let's go back to verse 5 first. Jesus lifted up his eyes, and verse 5. Jesus lifted up his eyes and saw a great multitude of company coming unto him, and he said unto Philip, when shall we buy bread that these may eat? And this he said to prove him, for he himself knew what he was going to do. Now watch what he said. He said this to Philip. Watch Jesus. Watch Jesus. Listen carefully, church. Watch Jesus. He looks up and he sees 5,000 men. And he know they're hungry. So he turns to a man and asks the man, how are we going to feed them? Where can we buy bread to feed them? Because he knew, watch this, he knew that men would go to the store. That's how we think. If we're going to feed 5,000 people, we need to run to the store and buy bread. So he asked Philip, which is a man, tell me where we're going to buy bread. Because he knew how Philip thinking. Philip turns around and he said, I don't care, we had 500 penny worth. It wouldn't be enough to feed these many people. Watch this. Jesus said he only asked Philip because Jesus himself already knew what he was going to do. Look, he's not asking Philip because he's confused. He's asking Philip because Jesus knows what he's going to do. But he gives man an opportunity. Come on now, church. He gives man an opportunity to see what man would do. You know what Jesus said? I want to see how man think, because I know what I'm going to do. Jesus said, I already know what I'm going to do, but I must first give man the opportunity to work it his way. Your way is to go to the grocery store. And you're going to come back and tell me we don't have enough money. If we had 500 penny, we wouldn't do it. So what man was saying, we got to tap into resources. Hallelujah. Man was saying we got to go find resources. And Jesus was saying, see how you think? I want you to quit thinking resources and start thinking source. Whoa, y'all keep leaning this way. See, look. Our bigger problem is we exhaust resources. And when resources are exhausted, we give up. God comes in and takes 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread, which is a resource. And then he taps into the source. Philip, tell me what you're going to do. Philip said, need to go to the grocery store, but we don't have enough money. Jesus said, that's how y'all think. You don't really want to come to the real grocery store. Y'all gonna run to y'all grocery store while you got the bread of life standing right here before you. He who made everything right here before you. You have the source right here, and you're talking about the grocery store. You have the real doctor right here, and you're talking about the natural doctor. You have the real visionary right here in Christ, but you're talking about how you're going to plan it. And you don't have God plan. You see, Jesus said, Philip, I know what I'm going to do, but Philip went to the grocery store. Now, something happened real important here. Look at verse 9, if you will. Look at verse 8 and 9. And one of his disciples, verse 8, and one of his disciples, Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, said unto him, there is a lad, y'all say it with me, there is a what? Which has what? And what? Now what did he say after that? But, watch this. But, here's a lad, watch this what he says. Watch how we think. And I'm going to shift your thinking today. You leaving out here thinking spiritual and not natural. I hope you get this today, that you quit thinking what? Natural, and think what? Spiritual. Watch what Andrew Philip, one of his disciples, said. He says, here is a lad. Look at it carefully now. Here is a lad here with 5 barley loaves, 2 small fish. Amen. But look what happened. Stay with me, church. Here's a lad, a little boy here with 5 loaves of bread. He has 2 fish. Y'all looking up here. And Jesus Christ took the loaves. He, first of all, watch what it said. Here's a boy with some bread, 5 loaves of bread, and 2 fish. Meaning, when it said Jesus took the loaves, it didn't mean he reached over and took it from him. It means the boy gave it to him. Oh, this good stuff. See, Jesus don't take nothing. The little boy with the 5 loaves of bread and the 2 fish was willing, everybody with me? Was willing to give up his resource to the source.
We invite you to an extraordinary worship experience with the Watoto Children's Choir Thursday, February 7th at 7 p.m. The Watoto Choir is based in Kampala, Uganda, and they travel worldwide. Watoto Child Care Ministries was birthed out of the need to house orphan children left behind after the revolution.
Be exalted, O Lord, our God. Be exalted, O Lord, our God. Oh yes, you reign. Jesus, our God forever, mighty, you never fail. Savior, your love endures, faithful, you never change. Jesus, our God forever. We lift you up.
Thank you for tuning in to the Word of Excellence broadcast, which can be heard here daily on Family Radio 1490 AM, Monday through Friday at 12 noon. Be sure to watch our weekly television broadcast on WMOR Sundays at 5:30 a.m., WACX Super Channel 55 Tuesday at 7:30 p.m., CTN Local Tuesday 8:30 p.m., and CTN National Saturday 10 a.m. You're welcome to join us at our live Sunday worship service at 10 a.m. and Wednesday midweek service at 7:30 p.m. For more information about obtaining copies of any message, please contact us at 863-422-9222 or visit our website at www.pclctheview.org. Our prayer is that God will continue to richly bless you.